So we're gonna call a meeting order this public hearing for special assessment 2016 street project. And I guess we would need to motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Wolf.
Second.
Second by Pillar. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, so Mr. Link, looks like you're the.
I haven't received any written comments from anyone else. So.
Okay, all right. If you want to come on up, you have a couple questions for us. We'll try to answer as best we can.
Okay, the first question was there any property within the city besides city-owned property that was not assessed any dollars in this project?
The only city-owned property that was not assessed was city ditches. There was a couple of them and one road.
No, any other properties other than city
Other than
property.
city.
So every other citizen or person that owns property in Hazen was assessed something.
Okay. I failed to find in the listing the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, their special assessment.
Okay.
You,
Did you know that was something that was?
I would have no idea. We've never run across it in the past. I've never seen it specifically listed.
they do own property within the city limits and a lot of property.
Which property came to that one? I don't know.
Well,
Because the stuff that goes through the rail itself, is that,
and their whole right of way on
Okay.
the,
so the road behind your house?
well, yeah, and it goes, you know, they have I don't know what it is, but it starts back here. And it runs all the way down, jogs out. And some of this is privately owned and some of it may be railroad owned.
Sure.
By the elevator, and it jogs out quite a ways. And then this here piece in here, that could be a split between the railroad and privately owned in that Glacier Park. Most of that,
Right,
That
where West
come back.
River and Oliver Mercer have theirs.
yeah,
It
has
looks
come
like
back.
7th Street all the way down here.
But then at the west end here, all the way out to the west city limits. And so they have, I want to say, a minimum of a width of 100 feet, 50 feet on each side, or more on the south side of their main line because they have a siding. And that runs all the way through the city limits from on the southerly side. Yeah,
It's not in the books as far as I'm aware.
Have we assessed them in the past for projects in the
I
last
mean, I
time?
went through all the parcels and I had never seen one parcel under Burlington Northern. And we don't remember ever seeing them. So they have some kind of a,
Well,
I
mean, they're not exempt.
Yeah, they're,
So,
but they're not even parceled out.
no, it doesn't show any block numbers or anything like that. does it?
well, for property tax, Burlington Northern, they pay property tax to the state of North Dakota, and the state of North Dakota divides that back out according to their miles of rail. So there wouldn't be a real estate tax, but there's special assessments. And if it's in there, I didn't see it.
well, it probably isn't in there, that bring Shannon.
If it doesn't have a parcel, I don't know how it would be.
Well, then it should be considered because
Right.
on the city special wide portion, that's a lot of square footage.
Yeah,
for
that
the
is.
railroad track.
Would the county have, would they have record of that, Monty, you think? Or-
They'll have the mileage is about all.
Cause that's all centrally assessed property, the railroad property, like he said, it's just based on mileage.
It was right across from the library here, they've got that loading dock where they've got their ties and stuff. I assume
They have the original map from the special
This one here
assessment
shows
district.
the corporate limits of the city.
What's really, where the original
Tracks and stuff.
district map,
To this
where the
point,
district was
City
defined,
limits, yeah.
did that include the railroad tracks?
Those are the corporate limits, 7th Street.
Cause it includes a comprehensive limits and
It's gotta be some
And
kind of,
actually go to 7th Street, go all the way
Yeah,
across
you
the railroad
always-
tracks over there.
some kind of.
No,
no.
Yeah, I don't-
agreement of some sort.
Yeah.
I always assumed it was out of the.
I don't know how the county would assess them if they don't have a parcel. Is it a,
Well, they're getting taxed. But they
yes,
don't,
is it-
but they don't have a parcel with us as far as I know. I've never seen one.
no,
that's how we report to the
I should be
county.
getting my kinds of tax money back.
cause I could probably reduce,
You know, it doesn't have to be.
Your rails?
all on us, that's a portion of the-
For the city line.
Well,
Well, maybe even push them up to 3.
we will definitely look into that, Ken, and see if we can find, do you recall in the past when you were on council, if that was ever a situation, or was ever brought up, or?
No, because we had no, I don't recall ever assessing the railroad, and it might have been, but I think when I was on the council, we had special assessment districts that, I don't know if we had a citywide.
Well, I think we definitely wanna know this especially our project for next summer, that's gonna be
Yeah.
substantially larger.
I know you live in a citywide knowledge over there, maybe call and see how they did it.
Is that something we can go back, even if we take this to the county this week, we can still go back and,
Well, we'll just have to tell the county it's gonna be a couple of days till we can certify it to them, till we get that resolved and corrected. It clearly includes
yeah,
that.
yeah, just like that one there. Yeah, inside. Good find, Ken. That could possibly save everybody some,
Maybe $5.
well,
No,
maybe
but,
it's more, I don't know.
well, the point is that they should not be treated any different than any other
Landowner,
landowner within the corporate limits.
we'll do some hunting and pecking tomorrow to help Beulah and
So
see.
you feel like they actually own it, it's not like any kind of 100-year lease with the city or anything like that?
No, their owner, in fact, they have the Northern Pacific Railroad was to receive the patent from the federal government. They own it in fee.
Okay.
But you have to determine what, they owned a lot more at the time the railroad was built, but they have sold off or granted or deeded.
We will look. Anything else, Mr. Link?
No,
No,
Casey, sorry.
I guess one other, I guess, citywide, I guess assessment was maybe this, parking lot here, when we got paved outside of City Hall.
Oh, that's true.
That's possible. The other thing was it paid with sales tax funds. I don't remember the
Sure.
particulars on that. I know that there was times when Main Street was worked on, there was so many dollars thrown in to reduce special assessments. That
Sure.
money came from the
Mhm.
city sales
Yeah.
tax. Those details I couldn't.
Well, we've been doing 10% of city sales tax on all of these too, so if the project was 1.5 million, we kicked in 150,000 from the sales tax fund.
So that project, that parking lot was paved from dirt back in the late 90s, mid.
Somewhere.
Yeah, exactly how that one was done, I could look back.
Sure. Okay. Okay,
So that puts us in a position where we can't do an approval tonight, or
Well,
wait until we get an answer back, or can it be
Can we-
amended later?
right, can we,
You can redo the assessment later. I think you'd be better off waiting to get an answer and certify it later this week. We can do another
Yeah.
meeting, or if I visit with Darby, if she can wait till next week, we can do it Monday night. Based on the corrections, if we find any other corrections as far as the BM property.
Dan and I'll be gone.
Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
Let me get a hold of Darby, and I can just send an email out to you if it's
Okay.
fine that we get it to her early next week.
And I'll be gone next Monday, so. You got that? Okay. All right, then I guess we are on hold.
I have one other correction
Yeah, great.
to suggest. I apologize for not printing this, I think it's very difficult. Since our committee have met and approved all the properties, I've received a call from a community member that did look at her block. It is on Expansion Drive. And if I were to show you the original sheet, that's what just might be easier, you'll see a lot of 28-foot lots, 25-foot lots, and 21-foot lots. They're the townhouses along Expansion Drive. Down farther down the block are two properties, specifically number 270609. That was listed, had a main lot and a sublot. The main lot was listed at 28 feet and the sublot was listed at 72 feet. That'd be a total of 100 linear feet. It was only assessed at 28. It didn't stand out because of the field. Right across the street was the same thing. It was 28 feet and 100 feet, so it should have been assessed at 100 feet. That affects 55 properties in that zone. I have adjusted it, I've sent it to Monty. I would suggest it wasn't, what it does is it raises the two properties that were missed, $2,424.06 for one property. It raises the other one, $3,387.36. And that's split amongst the rest of linear properties that did get assessed. The average reduction is anywhere from here's one, I guess, as low as $47 for those 21-foot lots, as high as $238 for one of the larger lots. But that would be split. What I'd recommend, what I'd suggest to the committee is we split it the same way we split it for our committee. It's just that with recent information, we believe that correction could be made and should be made by the commission.
Great, you said the one was 3387 and the other one's 2400?
3387.36 was the other one.
That was
That was,
the issue.
yeah,
That was the addition, that was the difference.
and the other one was 2000 what?
The other one was $2,424.06.
And were these residents then notified at all?
This is recent information, that's the
So what is our obligation there for notification and opportunity to question or?
all questions are our committee publicizes it once.
Right.
And then the paper comes out and says any corrections made are available at City Hall.
Mhm.
And then when you guys make corrections, any corrections are available at City Hall. So there does not necessarily have to be published in.
But But these residents, I would assume, would need to be notified that there has been a correction, so they would have
Protest.
opportunity to look at that and contest possibly.
It's not required, but it would be courtesy to notify them that there was a correction, and this is how I handled that.
And I'm just asking the questions, because I don't know if I were the resident that got a $3,000 adder on there and I didn't know it until my tax bill showed up.
Or my neighbor said, hey, did you read the paper yesterday?
The neighbor right next to the one with the, largest addition here, just to give you an example. The neighbor is 4,737, the one that got increased is now 4,667, and their neighbor on the other side is 4,053. Where it was basically 4,700, 2,200, and then 4,000 again. So it should have stood out, but there's just too many, we missed two. And we do rely on the community to kind of double check if we had one other report prior to our hearing if a lot had been split, but the county records don't show it correctly.
Did you get any responses back that they thought their assessment was too low in comparison to their neighbors? Just curious.
So I would recommend that correction if you want the other, did you note the two property numbers that are the largest effects?
270609.
Yep, and 270612.
It would be my strong recommendation that we somehow at least communicate to those two individuals. The other ones, theirs dropped.
There's Rob, the
That's,
percentage.
that's like getting a Christmas present, because that's when they're gonna get it anyway, so, I don't know that it's as critical to communicate to those individuals, but I think we may not be obligated, but I feel an
Do
obligation.
we do that by phone call or letter or?
I'll make a call to them to let them know what happened.
Is that Shannon's job?
No, we're Shannon's.
Throw me under the bus again? What am I supposed to do?
Monty's helping out. All right. Okay. Okay. I
Obviously,
agree. That's,
Obviously, the cushion to it is that it's over a 20-year period, but.
yeah, it's $169 a year.
It's pretty substantial increase over what it originally scored out at. So.
Okay. Do we need to?
That would be part, I believe, of our discussion when we go to approve this, is that we would make a motion to approve it with the changes noted by the committee, correct? Yeah, so I don't think we have to do it in separate motions.
It would be a committee action, but as knowing the worksheets, I'll happily work with Monty and so that when we get the figure of the property, we can work it in the worksheets a little easier. I can help you with that.
Okay.
Assist, basically.
Okay. Anything else? Greg, I want to thank you and Doug and Renee, because it's we know it's just a blast doing this, and you get all those fun phone calls, so thank you, appreciate it. All right, at this time, I don't see that we can take any action, so if that is all that's on the agenda, then I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Pillar, second by Stern. Discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.